Men over 60, have your mornings started to feel weaker, heavier, and emptier than they used to? You might brush it off as aging or low testosterone, but here's the disturbing truth. Weak mornings and poor circulation aren't always innocent. For some men, they are the body's first whisper of a coming stroke. Most never connect the dots until it's too late. Could your mornings be warning you right now? I'm Dr. Evelyn Hart, a board-certified urologist who has spent more than 25 years helping men over 60 protect their circulation, restore vitality, and reduce their risk of stroke. I've seen firsthand how the earliest signs show up quietly in the mornings and why ignoring them can be dangerous. Today, I'll explain what weak mornings really mean and how you can act before it's too late. Morning vitality and circulation. Martin, 68, came to my clinic with a quiet worry. "Doctor," he said, "I don't wake up the way I used to. My mornings feel flat, heavy, like something is missing." He assumed it was normal aging, but what he didn't realize is that weak mornings can be an early warning sign of something far more serious. Here's why. Every night while you sleep, your body runs on autopilot. Blood should flow smoothly into the pelvic region, a natural process tied to healthy arteries and strong circulation. When that morning vitality disappears, it's not just about intimacy. It's your body telling you blood isn't reaching where it used to. Research in the American Heart Association Journal shows that reduced morning blood flow is often linked with endothelial dysfunction, when the lining of your blood vessels stiffens and loses its ability to expand. This dysfunction doesn't stay local. It spreads throughout your circulation system, setting the stage for clogged arteries, poor oxygen delivery, and yes, higher stroke risk. Think of it this way. Your mornings are like a health check engine light. If the signal is strong, blood is moving freely. If the signal fades, your circulation may already be compromised. For Martin, further tests confirmed early vascular problems. Catching it then gave him the chance to change his habits and lower his risk before something irreversible happened. And here's the mini hook. Most men ignore weak mornings as just getting older. But in reality, it may be your body's earliest and only warning sign of an oncoming stroke. The next loop will reveal the hidden symptoms of poor circulation that often appear alongside weak mornings. Poor circulation markers. After hearing about weak mornings, many men ask me, "Doctor, are there other warning signs I should look for?" The answer is yes, and they often appear quietly in your daily life. Take Harold, 71. He noticed his feet were always cold, even under warm blankets. Sometimes, after sitting, his legs tingled, as if they had fallen asleep. And on more than one occasion, he felt lightheaded when standing up. Like many men, he brushed it off as just age. But these are classic markers of poor circulation. Here's what's happening. When arteries narrow and stiffen, blood struggles to reach the farthest parts of your body, your hands, feet, and brain. That's why you feel cold extremities, numbness, or tingling. It's not just inconvenient. It's a red flag that your vascular system isn't delivering oxygen where it's needed. Dizziness or sudden lightheadedness is even more concerning. Research published in Stroke Journal shows that reduced blood flow to the brain can trigger transient ischemic attacks, sometimes called mini strokes. They often go unnoticed, but they dramatically raise the risk of a full stroke later on. For Harold, further testing revealed carotid artery narrowing, a blockage in the vessels carrying blood to the brain. What began as cold feet and occasional dizziness turned out to be his body's urgent cry for help. Ignoring these circulation markers is like ignoring chest pain before a heart attack. They are small alarms, but they carry big consequences. And here's the mini hook. Weak mornings, cold feet, numbness, or dizziness might feel harmless, but they often share the same root cause, damaged blood vessels. In the next loop, I'll show you the science behind this damage and why nitric oxide, your body's natural blood vessel relaxer, is at the center of the story. Nitric oxide, endothelial dysfunction, and stroke risk. When we talk about circulation, one tiny molecule often makes the biggest difference: nitric oxide, or NO. Think of NO as the body's natural switch that tells your arteries to relax and open wide, allowing blood to flow freely. Every healthy morning signal, that vitality you used to feel, depends on enough NO being produced overnight. But here's the problem: as we age, and especially if we eat poorly, smoke, or stay inactive, our endothelial cells, the lining of our blood vessels, lose their ability to make NO. This is called endothelial dysfunction. When that lining stiffens, arteries can't expand. Blood doesn't flow well into your pelvic region, your legs, or your brain. Weak mornings are just the first visible clue. Scientific studies back this up. Research in circulation shows that low nitric oxide levels directly predict higher risk of stroke and cardiovascular events in older adults. In fact, men with chronically low NO often have both poor morning circulation and increased rates of ischemic stroke. Consider Robert, 66. He came to me complaining of fading morning vitality and occasional dizziness. Tests revealed not only poor pelvic blood flow, but also reduced endothelial function. His NO levels were low, meaning his vessels simply couldn't open properly. Without action, his risk of stroke was significantly higher. The good news? Endothelial dysfunction is not a death sentence. Improving NO production through better habits, targeted nutrition, and simple daily movement can restore flexibility to arteries and reduce risk dramatically. And here's the mini hook. But nitric oxide isn't the whole story. Sometimes the first real clue of poor circulation is an event too small to notice. A mini stroke that quietly warns of bigger danger ahead. That's exactly what we'll explore next. Case study: mini stroke. As a silent warning, James, 65, was a retired bus driver who prided himself on being tough. He shrugged off his weak mornings and occasional dizziness, calling them just part of getting old. But one morning, as he poured coffee, his right hand suddenly felt numb. The sensation lasted only a few minutes, then disappeared. James ignored it, until it happened again a week later. What James experienced was a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, often called a mini-stroke. These events happen when a clot briefly blocks blood flow to the brain. The symptoms vanish quickly, but the danger is real. Research in the New England Journal of Medicine shows that nearly 1 in 3 men who experience a TIA suffer a full stroke within the next 90 days, if nothing changes. For James, tests revealed significant narrowing in his carotid arteries. His weak mornings, his dizziness, even that numb hand, all were connected to the same underlying issue: poor circulation and endothelial dysfunction. The body had been whispering warnings for months before shouting them through a mini-stroke. Here's the key point: TIAs are not harmless. They are red flares in the night sky, signaling that blood flow is already compromised. Just because the symptoms fade doesn't mean the danger is gone. If anything, it means the clock is ticking. James was lucky. By seeking help after his second TIA, he received treatment and made critical lifestyle changes. His mornings improved, and so did his circulation. But not every man gets that second chance. And here's the mini hook. While cases like James are powerful warnings, there's another hidden danger. Everyday habits that quietly damage circulation, piling risk on top of risk. That's where we'll turn next. Daily habits that quietly raise stroke risk. Not every warning comes from a dramatic event like James's mini-stroke. Often the greatest dangers are hidden in the routines men repeat every day. Habits that slowly chip away at circulation until a crisis strikes. Take smoking. Many men think, "I've smoked for decades. One more cigarette won't matter," but every puff stiffens blood vessels and destroys nitric oxide, the molecule your arteries need to stay open. A study in Stroke Journal shows smokers over 60 are twice as likely to suffer an ischemic stroke compared to non-smokers. And the risk rises with every year of smoking. Then there's salt. Edward, 70, admitted he salted everything: eggs, soup, even fruit. Excess sodium pulls water into your bloodstream, raising blood pressure and forcing arteries to work harder. Over time, high blood pressure weakens vessel walls, making clots more likely to form. The American Heart Association reports that cutting back sodium can lower stroke risk by nearly 20%. And let's not forget sitting. Hours on the couch or in front of the TV cause blood to pool in the legs. Muscles go inactive, circulation slows, and clots form more easily. In one large study, men who sat more than 6 hours a day had a 34% higher risk of fatal cardiovascular events, including stroke. The truth is, poor circulation isn't caused by one single factor. It's the combination. A cigarette here, a salty meal there, hours of sitting day after day. Each adds weight to the scale until it tips, often in the form of a stroke. And here's the transition. We've seen how weak mornings, hidden symptoms, and daily habits all connect to stroke risk. But the real lesson isn't just about fear. It's about action. In the next section, I'll show you how to recognize these warnings as opportunities to protect your health before it's too late. What we've uncovered together is clear. Weak mornings are not just a matter of aging. They are your body's subtle warning sign that blood isn't flowing the way it should. From Martin's fading vitality, Harold's cold feet, Robert's low nitric oxide, James's mini stroke, to Edward's daily habits, every story points to the same truth. Poor circulation is more than discomfort. It's a red flag for stroke risk. But here's the hopeful side. Every warning sign is also an opportunity. The body doesn't whisper for no reason. It's asking you to act. Strengthening circulation isn't about expensive pills or extreme measures. It's about listening to your body, catching these clues early, and making steady changes. Morning vitality, warm hands and feet, steady energy. These are all signs of a vascular system that's still working for you. When you nurture it with better habits, movement, and awareness, you not only lower your stroke risk, you reclaim confidence and strength in everyday life. The bigger lesson is this: your mornings can become your daily health report card. Pay attention, and you can steer your future away from fear and toward vitality. Ignore them, and you risk missing your body's most important warnings. If you've noticed weaker mornings, cold feet, or dizzy spells, don't dismiss them as just age. These could be your body's early warnings, and acting now can make all the difference. Start small, pay attention to your circulation, move a little more each day, cut back on salt, and if you smoke, make today the day you take that step to quit. The choices you make now can lower your stroke risk and help restore the vitality you thought was gone. If this video spoke to you, click like so more men over 60 can learn these critical warnings. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in upcoming videos I'll share practical foods, habits, and strategies to strengthen circulation naturally. And in the comments, type the word circulation if you'd like me to share a free checklist of daily habits that protect blood flow and reduce stroke risk. I read every comment, and your feedback shapes the future topics we cover. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice Always consult your physician before making changes to your health routines, or if you suspect you may be at risk for stroke or cardiovascular disease.